It's time for that, folks. It's that time already, folks. That's right. Hey, it's Sherman Rain. This is the Black Success Magazine podcast. Want to welcome you, folks. It's a Monday or early part of December. And I want to welcome you to the show this morning. I hope you all had a good weekend. I know I did. I had a ton of people at my house. We had people at our house on starting the weekend, and then we went out to our kids' place on the weekend. So tons of stuff. I hope you had a great time too. Maybe at some point I'll show you guys a picture of the whole family, and that way you guys can get an idea of who everybody is. For those of you, this might be your first time checking us out. I'm Sherman Ram, the publisher of Black Success Magazine. We are actually in our 6th year, folks. 6 years. 6 years. And it has been a fun ride. Next year, I want you to look out for this, folks. We're going to be putting out we're going to do it on a regular thing. We're going to put out the Black Success Magazine, in addition to the podcast, in addition to our website, Facebook, all that other stuff. We're actually going to put out the magazine. So we're very excited about that. So if you'd like to, if you want to get a part of that, just send us, some information at blacksuccessmagazine@gmail.com. That's blacksuccessmagazine@gmail.com. And if you'd like to be an advertiser, that kind of thing, we'd love to have you on this show. It'd be our pleasure. But you can keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that kind of stuff. And of course, here on our YouTube channel. Love having you here with us. Last week, we talked about protecting and projecting our next generation. And so we're going to finish up with that today, or maybe do podcast number 2 on it. Maybe we'll, you never know, because there's a lot to this. I mean, there really is. So I don't want to rush through it, but I know we've only got, we do about a half an hour of the show. And I don't want to go too overboard with things. We'll actually put an article out about this. It'll probably be a very long article about doing those things. Because it's so important. Our next generation, guys, it really, really is probably the most important thing that we do as human beings and as people who are on a success journey. If we are not speaking into the lives of the next generation, really, what are we doing? Right? I mean, really not. I mean, it's easy enough to say, okay, I'm going to just go do something for myself. But really, you should be doing something, spending your time and your efforts into projecting into the next generation and launching out the next generation. As my old pastor used to say, he said, go ahead, we build so our kids can start on our shoulders. We don't want our kids to start from square one. We want our kids to start from here, on our shoulders and move forward. So that reminds me of this weekend, I was with my kids. And so I have 4 kids and 10 grandkids and 1 great-grandchild. I shouldn't say that up very loud, but I am. I've got 4 kids, a boy, 3 girls, 10 grandkids, and 1 great-grandchild. And so we were with them this weekend, and I just want to kiss them all. Just kiss them all on the lips. They're such dynamite kids. My kids, after you have to do this. As parents, you have to try to raise your kids the best you can, and hope that all the things that you do with your kids turn them into sustainable kids. All of my kids are very sustainable. I don't have to do anything in their lives anymore. I try to interject in their lives because they'll need maintenance, right? They're all great kids. And my grandkids, here's the thing about it, my grandkids are even better. My grandkids are they're already moving. As a matter of fact, I've got 1 grandchild. She was talking about she's got 4 scholarships. Yeah, 4 scholarships right now. I'm going to adjust this camera just because some of you probably are looking at me here. I've got 1 grandchild. She's got 4 scholarships. I've got another one. She just started into cosmetology school. Another one, he wants to be a chef. and he's well on his way to doing that. And so the other ones are kind of young, so we just kind of they're just coming up, but they're going to be awesome too, just awesome kids. So I'm very excited about what they're doing in their lives, and you just what do you really can't. You can't ask for much more in a kid's life. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take a really quick break. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Step Up Nevada and how you can help out our friends over at Step Up Nevada. Here we go. Hi, folks. Step Up Nevada, giving people a second chance at life. Step Up Nevada is a homeless advocacy organization located in the great state of Nevada, where we're helping people regain their lives and become productive citizens. If you'd like to hear more about Step Up Nevada, send us information at info@stepupnevada.org. That's info@stepupnv.org. All right, so that was Step Up Nevada. And some of you probably already heard about this. We've talked about Step Up Nevada before. And Step Up Nevada is it's a pet project that we're working on. I'm just so excited about it, in that it really speaks to the lives of people who are homeless or unhoused, however you want to call it. And we started our first food drive, and so we're in 3 locations, including Starbucks. We are in Mario here in Las Vegas. So we're in Las Vegas. Mario's. So Mario's is a hallmark on the historic west side of Las Vegas, and we're in a Christian supply store or a Christian bookstore, and so we're very excited. So if you'd like to get more information, once again, info@stepupnv.org. Stepupnv.org. So let's talk a little bit more about how to protect and project our next generation. And the reason why we wrote this is I worked for the school district, and one of the things that I noticed is that school districts across America are implementing, what do they call it? Standards on how to deal with kids, multicultural communities. And one of the things that I noticed is that they're basically saying, hey, at least in the school district I know of, that kids, African American kids, are different, and because they're different, you have to just give them a pass. Ooh, wow. And what does that mean? Well, one of the things that was said was that, and I can go, I won't go into the whole thing here, but one of the things that was said was basically, because they're so different, instead of, disciplining children and teaching them how to become productive citizens because they're going to have to work in a society that has norms, you just let them slide by. Well, we can't do that, folks. We have to, as African American parents, as people of color, people who have melanin in our skin, as leaders, as people on the success course, we need to teach our kids how to be great. We need to project them out. We need to protect them now and project them into a future where they can be successful, and hopefully even more successful than us. So that's what we started this. So I'm going to go over what we've already talked about really quickly, and then we're going to move on to the next one. So we have 10 keys to protecting and projecting our children into greatness. 1, start them young. We talked about this before. We want to start them young. We don't want to wait till they're 13, 14 years old. We want to, just like a young plant, we want to begin to nurture them right now. Number 2, model greatness. Model greatness. We think that our kids are not watching us, but they are watching us. So even if you're not a successful businessman, real estate owner, broker, or maybe even a judge or something like that, you need to put things in front of them that show people doing great things. We don't see that enough in our culture right now, so your kids need to see that. Number 3, reinforce greatness. You will get what you pay the most attention to. If the kid is doing great, you need to really just clap your hands, jump up and down, let them know, hey, kid, you did great. So you can get more out of them, more of those great things, okay? All kids are going to do wrong, guys. They're not perfect, so quit. So I hate parents. I shouldn't say hate parents. I feel bad for parents who think that their 12-year-old kid should be perfect already. That kid is not going to be perfect for a long time, okay? So quit getting on their back about the mistakes they make. Mistakes are part of life. Reinforce the great things that they do, because they're always going to do bad things, okay? It's not that we don't pay attention to those bad things, but we really reinforce the great things that they're doing. Number 4, surround them with greatness. Surround them with those things. If your child has a bent towards art, sports, academia, surround them, folks, with those kinds of things. Not just people who are doing all right, okay? Surround them with people who are doing super great, okay? That's what they're going to shoot for. That's what they're going to shoot for. So surround them. If you're going to learn a new language, and this was in our last podcast, we talked about this. If you're going to be in an environment where you're going to, or if you want to learn a new language, the best way to learn that language is immersive. What does that mean? That means not being in an environment where you're hearing your native language. You want to hear the language you want to learn to speak all the time. So you are immersed in it. You want to be surrounded by it. So you'll start learning that language. That's the same thing with greatness. Greatness is caught, it's taught, and if you put that person in that environment, guess what? They're going to tend to be more like that. Okay. Number 5, I think it is. Feed them greatness. Okay, feed it to them, guys. Your kids will only grow if you feed them. If you don't feed them, guess what? They're going to start being shriveled up and weak and eventually die. Greatness can be fed to a child. Feed them great books, articles, movies, videos. Get them off of the, oh, there's my cell phone. Get them off the cell phone, folks. Unless they're going to actually become a person who makes these, then they don't really need to be on these all day long, okay? Get them off of this and get them into something that's going to propel them to the next level. This is such a crutch anymore that kids are just, I know kids that would die if they don't have their cell phones so they can text each other or do TikTok videos. Come on, really? Feed them greatness. Next one, which brings us up to a new chapter. Speak to them inspiring words. Speak to them inspiring words. If you've watched any of us here at Black Success Magazine, or you've kept up with us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, we put out an inspirational or motivational quote pretty much every day. We're really pretty good at doing that. And we want to, and why do we do that? The reason why we do that is because we hear so many negative things in the culture all day long. You're lazy, you're shiftless, you're late, you're not tall, you're not short, you got bad hair, you got good hair. Your skin's not good. So you need inspiration to keep you moving forward. You need words that tell you, hey, guess what? Greater are you than anything in the world. Okay, God has given you great intuition. You need to hear great things. You need to hear great inspiring words. And that's the same thing you need to do to your child. Inspire them with great words. Tell them how great they are. Tell them how lovely they are. Tell them how smart they are. Tell them how much you're so proud of them that they're doing such a great job. And you know what that kid will do? That kid will start beaming, man. Hey, okay? Dads, tell your daughters that they're lovely. Tell them they're beautiful. Tell them, oh, they're the most beautiful child in the world. When they wake up in the morning, you give them a big kiss. Okay? My kids to this day come up to me and try to kiss me. Oh, kiss. You know why? Because that's the way they were raised. You know, my grandson, who came over, he's been living in Arizona for ever since he graduated from high school. He came back to visit. And first thing he's coming to me, them lips are coming up. I go out riding in the morning. I'll tell you this real quick story. So I go out riding in the morning, and I do about 20 miles or so. come in, I'm stinking like you know what, right? And because you're riding a bike, and my grandson's up, and this is really early in the morning, so I'm getting ready to take a shower. I see him, and I go, dude, you don't want to hug me? He goes, oh, I want to hug you, Poppy. I want to hug you. Gives you that big bear hug of a hug. Why? Because that's the way we raise them. Okay, this kid is just so excited about life, and I love that. So speak inspiring words to them. Tell them how great you are. Tell them how excited you are. Don't ever tell them that the idea that they have is like, oh, that's so stupid. I hear parents do that all the time. Oh, that's such a stupid idea. Oh, you'll never do that. No, don't tell your kids that. Don't tell your kids they wouldn't be able to do that. Tell them, guess, when do you want to start? Okay, when do you want to start? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. You can do it. I believe in you. How about that to tell your kids that? I believe in you. Deion Sanders did that to his team. His football team, the Colorado Buffaloes. I believe in you. And guess what? When they went up against TCU and they went up against all these other football teams, they overperformed, folks. Not just performed. They overperformed because their coach believed in them. That's what you've got to do. You've got to project them out there by letting them know you believe in them, because your kids need to hear that from you. Mark my words on this. Wow, I know, it's so exciting. Let's do this. Let's take a really quick break, folks. We'll be back in just a second, folks. And when we do, we'll get on more of some of the stuff that we're talking about. Let's be back. Back in just a second. Back, folks. This is Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine podcast. I want to welcome you all back, folks, and this has been a fun day. It really has. I'm enjoying doing this each and every. I don't know. We're do it twice, 3 times a week, something like that, where we do the podcast. And today we're talking about protecting and projecting your kids into greatness, and so exciting. Or projecting the next generation is what really I guess we're calling this. Officially is what we're calling this. So I want to welcome you all back to the show. We've been going through. I don't know. We've only gone through a couple of them just because some of these. What we're going to do is we're going to write an article about this. I think we will, because it's so much. I don't know if we're able to get through them all in the time allotted to do them justice, but I really feel like, parents need this. Parents need this as much as anybody, and so we want to make sure you get a full dose of this, and we don't want to shortchange on any of this. So let's talk about the next one. Set age-appropriate standards. Okay, kids need boundaries. Every child will rise to the expectations and the expectation level that you set upon them, but be careful when you do this, that you set age-appropriate boundaries and standards for your kids. And it doesn't make sense for you to tell your 3-year-old child that you expect straight A's, but certainly is well within the abilities of an 11 or 12-year-old to know that their parents expect them to do great things. Okay, really important. Sometimes I think what we can talk about, expectation levels for kids, and we can really go overboard. I know of some kids that it gets to the point where they've been expected to do such great things that they rebel against their parents. And when they do, the parents go, well, what happened? I just expected them to jump, over Mount Olympus. Kids, the kid's only like 5 years old. So we have to be very careful about that. So set boundaries, expectation levels that are age appropriate. We don't expect a 3-year-old to get straight A's and to sit still in a chair all day long. But 11, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, we can probably expect them to do mighty, mighty things. And here's why. I think in our modern day, we especially this society that we live in now, we've dummied down expectation levels for our kids. We seem to think that our kids are stupid, and we seem to think that our kids can't do extraordinary or extraordinary things. And they're well capable of doing those things. I mean, not just capable, they're well capable of doing and extraordinary things. Our founding fathers who founded America, at the age of 13, I'm gonna get this fact right because I don't want to mess it up. Maybe I'll look it up here in a break or something like that. One of our founding fathers at the age of 13 was the prime minister to France at the age of 13. Okay? Nowadays, if we can get a 13-year-old to, put together a whole sentence, it's a big deal. But it shouldn't be that way. We've dummied down our institutions, but that's not for your kid. Your kid is going to be better, more capable, and a leader in society. So we've got to up the expectation level for our kids. We've got to expect big things from them. We expect them to not just go to school and get B's and C's. We want them to get A's, and we want them to perform. We want them to begin to look at life a little more like life as a challenge as opposed to life as a drudgery. We want them to come out of school excited about what they're going to do next in life, as opposed to, oh, I'm fearful. Oh. Well, the reason why they're fearful is because they're not prepared. They've never been expected to do anything. And as a result of that, guess what? Yeah, they come out of school going, I don't know what I want to do. I'm scared. I have not a brain in my head. So we've got to, it's age appropriate, of course, but we've got to start putting expectation levels on our kids, because they can sit in class quietly. They can read a book a month. They can, do all the things that we think that, a kid that's much older can do, because we live in a they've got right now, let's go back to the cell phone here. This cell phone that I've got here in my hand has more computing power than the first NASA rocket that lifted off the Earth. Right here in their hands. They've got more computing power. They have more ability to get knowledge and to find things than we ever had when growing up. But what they're doing is they're using it for TikTok. They're using it for TikTok and for Instagram and for text messaging all day long, goofy stuff, instead of using this powerful, literally in your hands here, folks, you have a TV station in your hand. You could produce a TV show right here with this phone. And the kids are not, and every kid has one. And they know how to use it. But do they really know how to use it? Have they been challenged to know how to use it? That's up to you to find out. Well, let's go to the next one. Challenge them to reach higher heights. We talked about this before. Challenge them. Challenge your child to reach higher heights. Don't ask them, hey, guess what? Can you feed the cat? Okay, this is going to be a good one. Don't tell them to feed the cat. Teach them, hey, I want you to show me a new way to feed the cat. Get them to use their imagination a little bit. The reason why I use that example is I used to work with a bunch of business owners, and I did it for 5 years, where I had about 200 business owners that I worked with on a weekly basis. We worked with them every Thursday morning, like clockwork, from like 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning, or 7 to 8, or whatever it was, or 8:30. And one of the exercises I gave them is I gave them all a pencil or a piece of paper or a tack or whatever. And I told them, I said, this is your product. Okay? Say it's a pen. I want you to create a marketing plan for that tack, that pencil, whatever it is. And I want you to get a supply chain ready for it. I want you to do all that stuff. You got an hour to begin, and I want you to be able to sell this and pitch it to me here in another hour. Okay, ready and go. Cool. And I put them all in groups of 5s. We had about 200 business owners. This is pretty amazing. So we had a bunch of different objects that we told these guys to work on, and to a man, these guys created marketing plans. Hey, guess what? I got a new pen. Hey, Vanna White, right? It was fantastic. Your kids can do the same thing, but they have to be challenged. They have to be challenged to do something like that, because if you don't challenge them, they won't do it. But guess what? They want to be challenged. They really want it. They want you to say, here's the bar, jump over it. I can do that. Dad, I can do that. Mom, I can do that. They want to be challenged. Right now, they are begging to be challenged, but right now, our society won't do it. Our society seems to think our kids are stupid, but our kids are not stupid. They can do more than play football. They can do more than do TikTok videos. They can do more than play basketball. They can do more than they ever could imagine, but you've got to challenge them to do it. So begin to look at that. Wow. Next one. I think this will be the last one. Yeah. I think we've actually got 3 more. We'll do that on midweek. Okay. So come back and look at that one. Okay. Last one. Let them know that you love them no matter what they do. Whether they fail or whether they succeed, you love them. Let them know that. Our kids need to know that you adore them no matter what they do. Whether they're great today or whether they screw up. You know, whether they bring you a dead raccoon as a a gift, or they screw up in school. You will always love them. You will unconditionally love them. You don't love them because of what they do. You love them because of who they are, and that they are your child. I love my kids. They know it. I'll hug and kiss every one of them. They know they don't have to do a thing to make me happy. Well, maybe they make me happy, but they don't have to. It is not a performance thing with me. They don't have to do a thing, but they know I love them. And because they know I love them, and because my wife loves them, and their mom and dad love them, they're willing to do anything. Because they know that they can't fail and feel like I'm gonna come down heavy on them. I'm gonna say that finger and stuff my finger at them and tell them how bad they are. Okay, we don't do that. You shouldn't do that to your kids. Your kids need to know that no matter what they do, you will always love them. Okay? And that is a motivator for kids. Kids need to know, guess what? I'm all right. No matter if the world hates me, no matter if my friends hate me, I can always go back to mom and dad. You mean a lot to them. You really do. You mean a lot to your kids. And as a result of that, they'll treat you that way. They'll treat you like, hey, guess what? Mom, dad love me. Grandma, grandpa love me. Aunt, uncle, they love me. Someone loves me out there, so I'm all right. So I'm going to go out there and do whatever I can to do the best I can, because in the end, guess what? I know I'm still loved. And they will learn how to love themselves, not because of what they do, but because of who they are. They're well loved. They're just loved people. And people tend to, do some great things as a result of that. Man, that's about it, man. So, anyways, folks, we've got a couple more that we'll talk about. I don't know, maybe midweek. We'll do the last one of these. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really do. This has been our kids need this. They really do. I work with kids all the time, and I don't know if I'm surprised, but I am. I know that kids need us. They need you. They need me, and they need to know that you love them. They need to know that you expect great things from them, and they will do some great things. Okay, because they want to please you. Okay, especially in a world that just keeps saying that, they're a piece of crap. So, anyways, this has been Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine. Hey, folks, if you like this video, go to our website. Go to blacksuccessmagazine.com. It's blacksuccessmagazine.com. Check out all of the stuff that we've got on our website. Definitely check out the podcast that we put up there all the time. We've got articles on there. You can also probably get the link to our YouTube channel. I think you'll love it. And check out the video of this. If you're not getting our podcast on our website, you can go to Spotify. Spotify, and just type in Black Success Magazine podcast. They'll come up, or Apple or Google, and you'll check out Black Success Magazine podcast, and you'll be able to get it all. So once again, follow us again, like our page, like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this with all your friends. Okay, share it with all your friends. Let them know that we're here with Black Success Magazine. It's been Sherman Ray for Black Success Magazine. We love you folks once again. We'll see you again in a couple of days for another rousing podcast. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.